Okay, so you're wondering how you can begin to learn about trading for yourself. Well, let's see. There's stocks, options, futures, bonds, foreign exchange and currency pairs, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency, CDs, REITs, mutual funds. Then there's arbitrage, shorting, going long, iron condors, puts, covered calls, and much more. These are just some of the many different types of instruments and techniques that can be traded in order to help grow your retirement and your savings accounts. These admittedly can all sound very complex and intimidating though. But I'm guessing you're watching this video because you did some research that led you here to help find out how you can participate in trading this kind of stuff for yourself. You've read about or seen how average people have been able to improve their retirement savings by trading on the side. And this is whether or not they work full-time, part-time, or even if they're still in school at some level. So the question is, how can I learn to trade? As you can imagine, this is an enormous question that can't be answered with one single video. But if you stick around, I'll share with you my top 3 tips that will help guide you through the starting gate into learning about what kind of trading activity may be right for you. We'll also talk about where to begin seeking legitimate information about learning it with important questions that you need to consider. So let's start breaking this down together right after this. Hi everyone, Dan here from thejoyfultrader.com, where I encourage you to learn how to take control of your own savings and investments by learning about trading. Even if you're totally brand new to investing and trading, you're young or old, you're always just the right age to start learning how to improve your savings. So in this channel, we talk about all kinds of things related to the very basics of trading and investing and improving our lives. All geared for beginners. We always keep it positive, we keep it upbeat and easy to understand. So if you're brand new here, you'll want to become part of our growing community of friendly traders that are in the process of learning. All you need to do is subscribe to this channel and then hit the like button if anything in this video has been helpful to you. And as always, you can catch me over here on social media. With that said, let's talk about how to open that door to begin learning about trading. First of all, I need to congratulate you for taking the time and effort to even start the process of learning about all of this, which includes watching this video. The mere fact that you want to improve your life financially makes what I do all worth it if I can help contribute in some small way. And I mean that sincerely. My goal with this channel is to inspire and promote everyone to engage in the active management of their own financial affairs. This includes growing your savings in retirement because this is something that is still sorely lacking for the majority of us. Improving the financial literacy of us all not only serves to improve our own personal lives, but also improves the communities that we live in, wherever we're coming from. So again, kudos for you for wanting to learn more. Never stop learning. Tip 1. Define your specific reasons why you want to learn. You know, I can get right into discussing what a stock or option is, or what a futures contract is, and how to open a brokerage account and put money in it and then press a mouse button and buy some stock. This is like explaining to a pre-med student on their first day of class how to do a very specific surgical technique within a very specific surgical specialty. It's far too detailed for an undergraduate student who hasn't even gotten into med school yet, much less picked a specialty to study, or what the reasons are that they're drawn to that specialty to begin with. Many books and videos will want you to start running a sprint before you even know how to walk or crawl or where you're even running to. One video I recently watched about promising to teach you how to trade in 1 week started off by saying that the shortest line from point A to point B is a straight line, of course, and that he'll get you to point B as quick as possible. Throughout the entire video, he didn't even help the viewer to understand what point B was, because point B may be one thing to one person, but another goal to somebody else. Without knowing the student's goals, how can one teach in a way to help the student learn how to get there? I've watched lots of other videos about learning to trade, And I've read lots of books about it too. And I've been really disappointed because the majority of them start right in with these kinds of specific explanations and techniques without regard as to whether any of them are really applicable to someone who is brand new based on their goals and their life situation. I think most of them miss the single most important question that you as a new learner must need to answer. You must identify why you want to learn about trading. Then, what is it that you want to accomplish by learning all of this? I've been trading in one form or another since 1995, and I've been primarily self-taught, which is slow and an error-prone way to learn. I get asked about how to start trading and investing all the time by my friends and coworkers and others online, and the very first question I ask is this: why do you want to learn? Do you know what the typical response is most of the time? I don't know. I need to do something. And then I'll ask, what do you want to accomplish? I'm not sure, really. I'm delighted that people want to learn something new and so life-changing as this can be. And I really encourage that. But before we go any further, I have them really think about the reasons why they want to learn. And it can't be a generic and broad idea such as, I want to be rich, or I hate my job, or I just want to retire. While there's nothing wrong with these sentiments, because they do help to drive the motivation factor, they're not productive when it comes to identifying the specific reasons which will guide your direction and keep you on the path. Creating a reason why with very specific and realistic goals will keep you on track, and it will allow you to choose the best path to take to get there. Imagine walking into your high school or college advisor's office and you tell them that you want to sign up for some classes. Then they ask you, well, what do you want to study? Well, I don't know. I want to be rich because I need to do something. How can they possibly advise you about which classes to take? Math? Maybe. Economics? Maybe. Writing? Music? The arts? Engineering? They can all lead to being rich, potentially. Instead, if you stated that you wanted to earn $80,000 a year by working in the field of computer programming, then this is the kind of specific answer that can help the advisor guide you as to the correct classes to take and in which order. So your homework after watching this video is to define why you want to learn how to trade in a specific way without any pie-in-the-sky, overly generalized sentiments. For example, I work full-time, but I want to grow my savings account by $200 per month above and beyond what my paycheck is in order to pay off my student loans. Or another could be, I want to learn how to earn 8% annually on some amount of money that I have available to invest so that I can build a retirement fund of $1 million over the next 15 years. Or another one could be, I want to learn over the course of 2 to 4 years how I can replace X amount of my income from trading at home because I want to be closer to my family without going to work all the time. The answer to these questions will help determine what kind of trading activity may be best so that you can get to where you want to be. For some, simple stocks or bonds may be best, and for others, learning how to trade stock options or perhaps a small foreign exchange currency account may be a good starting point because of your time availability or a small budget. Once you know better what the specific goals are that you want to accomplish by learning, then we can figure out the best trading tools and techniques that will fit in with your plan. Remember what Earl Nightingale said, people with goals succeed because they know where they're going. Defining your point B will clarify what and where your point A needs to be. Tip number 2. Commit to reading 30 to 60 minutes per day. Being successful in anything begins with some kind of investing, even if it's not monetary. And what I'm talking about here is investing in your brain. How do you do that? You do that by reading books and articles, or my preference, listening to audiobooks. Let me encourage you right now that anyone that's watching this video is more than smart enough to learn everything that you need to know about trading to accomplish the goals that you want. I mean, think about what you already know. Just count how many song lyrics that you've learned without even having to put much thought into it. Whatever job you're in, you've had to learn some specialized skills in order to do it well, whether you went to school for it or not. The point is, you are capable of learning something new at any point in your life if you want to. I'm here to tell you that learning about this is not rocket science or advanced quantum physics. Nor is it some form of higher mathematical theories that are only within the realm of the mentally elite. Anyone can learn what they need to know to be successful in trading and investing. The facts are not as hard as you think. It's disappointing to me, though, that many people who already trade and have been doing so for years, they seem to relish in flaunting their knowledge about using terminology with a swagger that makes them feel like they're on a higher level of intellect than everyone else. And when I see this, I recognize it's just a person who needs to act that way to make themselves feel better, rather than trying to come down and explain things at a level of someone who just wants to learn. By committing to read 30 to 60 minutes a day, you begin to develop a habit of opening your mind and offloading information into it. And like exercise, once you get into that habit of reading or listening to audiobooks, your mind will begin to crave it if you neglect doing it. So the big question is, what should you be reading? Books about technical analysis, stock price movements, complex option strategies? No, I don't recommend these initially yet, but I can tell you from experience that a huge amount of beginner books about stocks and options and futures and so forth, they all get into concepts and terminology that at the onset seems a bit too complex, too soon, and it can have a way of discouraging you from wanting to continue. Trading, more than anything else in my opinion, is first an exercise in mental fortitude and staying positive with an optimistic attitude. The technical knowledge required to interpret a stock chart and place a trade is really quite easy. It's the mental challenge of staying positive and controlling your emotions that will dictate how well you do over time. I've even made an entire video about it because I believe it's so important and foundational. The card above links to it, and I'll post it at the end of this video also. You should be reading books about being positive, having a positive attitude, how to develop good habits. These are in abundance, but I do have some that I read and that I reread that I highly recommend, and I'll post these links down below in the description. But one in particular that I really like is called The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg, and it is all about proven techniques and studies about how to identify and change habits. I've listened to this book about 3 times over the past year, and each time I hear it, I find some new nugget of information that seeps in, and it really helps me improve myself in some way. For me personally, I find that using Audible to listen to these types of books while I'm in the car or exercising is really a great way to multitask, but that's just me. I do encourage you to read books on stocks and options, but choose the kind that have the words "for dummies" at the end of the title for right now. Those are pretty well written. They're written without bias and they're easy to digest, but do so in tandem with the positive self-help type of books. And I do emphasize those positive books over the trading books initially. You need to set the tone in your life for happiness, peace, joy, humility, and appreciation, along with learning how to trade. I recommend reading a 70%, 30% split between the two kinds of topics with an emphasis on the positive self-help first. Tip 3, become part of an investing club or a similar social group. Trading and investing can oftentimes be a really isolating and lonely type of endeavor. I remember spending years alone in my own thoughts and books in my office as I learned and I watched the markets, and I struggled teaching myself how to do this. Ask any trader who successfully works at home full-time what they think about it, and most will agree that it can be a quiet and reclusive existence, which for some is not a big problem, but it's important that we have social interaction with those that share in our similar interests. I know this very well because I spent over 20 years working from home, successfully running a small business as a computer programmer, a 3D animator, and designer, while also trading. And while the allure of working from home is great, and I won't deny that it does have its perks, my biggest issue that I struggled with was isolation from others and social interactions that happened within the office. The people that worked for me did so remotely from around the country, and although we could all chat and communicate, via Skype and whatever, it's just not the same thing as being able to get together personally on a regular basis with others that share the same interest. Trading is a tough one for that because most people don't understand any of it, and they'll talk in negative terms and they'll cite information that is really naive and misinformed. You'll find yourself spending most of your time trying to explain to them what it is that you're doing in detail. If you're new, that can be a struggle to do, and you're likely to just come away feeling really discouraged. That's why it's important to find a mentor or some other people around you that can help relate to what you're learning about and who can share in having positive goals. Other traders that you might encounter in online chat groups or forums can be pretty negative and harsh if you're new and you start asking questions that they may deem as being stupid. I found this to be especially true on a variety of investment and trading forums, and I still see it today as I sometimes glance through these. The simplest questions from a new learner can frequently be replied by with vicious attacks, mocking, and foul language. And to many experienced traders, they simply view it as a dog-eat-dog world, and they just want to eat your lunch and they want to send you away, and then they'll do it again tomorrow. One great place to find like-minded traders and investment clubs in your area is through meetup.com, but I'm sure there are other similar online resources where you can meet and socialize with other traders over coffee. But you'll never know who you'll meet in these types of groups who will have a life-changing impact on you because you took the effort to participate. Every time that you open a new door to opportunity, you'll increase the likelihood that you'll make connections that will lead you into new and positive directions that you never even thought for yourself. So if you're shy and you have a hard time meeting new people and you think that trading is a great way to avoid socializing, I want to encourage you to read about how you can overcome that and then challenge yourself to push through and put yourself out there and meet other traders in your community. Tip 4. Be wary of spending money on trading gurus, paid trading rooms, and seminars. There are many trading gurus and trading rooms and seminars that you can pay to become a member of. And largely, they'll be really friendly and supportive, and indeed, you may learn some good information from them. I don't want to say that I don't trust most of them, but I will say that before you spend any of your money on a monthly or a yearly subscription to such a group, become involved first with people around you in the free social groups that you can find in your city. Most of these gurus will claim to have their very own winning systems and methods for trading, but without getting into a lot of detail, I'll say that most of them have ulterior motives. For one, if their trading system is so wonderful and successful, then why are they making most of their money by charging you to be a part of their trading group simply for the privilege of watching them? I mean, if someone created a legal way to print money without limit, then why are they selling the blueprints to build the printer rather than just keeping it and printing all the money they would ever want for themselves? Second, many trading gurus will try to teach you that their system is the best, and they'll criticize other ideas, methods, and people who do things differently. In my experience, it seems that many of these gurus and the people who pay to follow them treat their systems and methods as some kind of a religious dogma, where there's only one true way, and they'll talk smack about any others who do it differently. Or they'll make you feel intimidated if you speak up and ask questions that deviate from what they teach. I'm not proud to say that I myself have belonged to a few of these groups, and in one case, I was one of their main teachers and moderators. That was over 10 years ago, but that's one small reason why I freely make these videos, and I've created The Joyful Trader to be a free outlet here on YouTube and social media to allow for simple education and positive support. I want to encourage everyone to be better with saving and growing money through trading and to become better human beings in the process. And most importantly, to help everyone think for themselves. I'm here to tell you that I don't believe there is any one true trading system that works all the time, because if there was, well, the entire world would be using it all at once by now. If such a system does exist currently, then you better believe that it's probably the most closely guarded secret that's only being used by the few people who created it, and nothing would make them sell it or teach it or give it away. What I want to do is encourage you to learn about getting an overview of all kinds of ways to trade. Then you can create your own methods and systems, and you can test them, and then you can use them because they make sense to you, and they speak to you, and they'll fit in with your current lifestyle and the goals that you have. They aren't somebody else's that you just blindly copy, because in reality, that doesn't do you any favors. If that system stops working, then you're left out in the cold having to start all over again. Let's just skip all of that and emphasize learning about the wide variety of trading preferences available. Then you'll know how to think for yourself. and then you'll have no limits on what you want and can do. You'll end up knowing more and having the ability to be versatile when the market conditions change, rather than just acting off of someone else's script that doesn't require you to exercise any critical thinking. All right, so I hope these ideas give you something to think about as you begin this journey of learning about trading. Now go forward and begin defining your specific goals and your reasons why you want to do this. Then begin to fertilize your mind by reading about how to develop good habits with a positive mental attitude. And then start checking out how you can get involved in some of the local trading or investing clubs that are near you so you can meet others who are where you want to be. Question of the day. What's one detailed goal that you have for wanting to learn how to trade and invest? And remember, you need to make it specific and realistic. Let me know down below in the comments so we can all read and encourage each other. And as a reminder, this channel isn't just about me, it's about you, the Joyful Trader community. I want us all to engage and share in our collective experience by posting questions and opinions down below in the comments section. We've got a lot more videos and tutorials coming about the details of trading, developing your systems, using software, and reviewing all kinds of things that are related to that. I want to inspire you to learn more, take control of your investments and savings, and grow your account to build a secure future. So don't miss out on all of our new and free trading-related videos by hitting the subscribe button here, and give this video a like if it was beneficial to you. Also ring that bell so that you'll know when each new Joyful Trader video goes live. And until next time, this is Dan saying, never stop learning stuff. See ya.